They're 5-0, Dave, and they have beaten opponents by an average of 20 points. Now you put that out there and you think, okay, well, yeah, we've been watching the Niners. That's what they do. Think about point spreads every week. The biggest point spreads we see are 13 points, 14 points. I think the Bills are favored by 14 over the Giants this week. They're averaging 20-point wins over the first 5 weeks. It's insane how they're creaming opponents. And the Cowboys were supposed to be a worthy opponent. Cowboys supposed to be NFC, contenders. Cowboys came into this thing feeling pretty good about themselves after they did to the New England, and they just put a beating on them. And, I go back to August and September, and there was a lot of like, it's probably going to be Purdy, but Sam Darnold might have to take over. Or, they traded Trey Lance away. Are they going to regret that? I'll tell you, I spoke with sources within that organization in early September, right? It might have been right after the Trey Lance trade. And like, injury or not, they were all in on Purdy to the point where, like, I have a source in San Francisco who's like, I don't know if there's anyone in the NFL who can run Kyle's offense as efficiently as this young man. And it's not just the intelligence. It's not just the ability on the field. It's the demeanor. He is just so cool. If you noticed in the post-game press conference, they just won 42-10 against one of the NFL's best teams. And Kyle Shanahan's like, he missed one. He missed a pass to Ayuk. He had Ayuk on one of them. He threw it behind. He missed one. And that's, you're in special territory when you go back through all the quarterbacks that Kyle Shanahan's had, and that includes Garoppolo, the frustration sometimes you see in his post-game press conferences, or the frustration in his voice describing some of their losses or moments missed. He's finally got his guy. It's almost like they share the same brain. And I put it out there that Purdy deserves MVP consideration, and I got clobbered for it because they have all these wonderful players around him, and between McCaffrey and Kittle and Juszczyk and Debo and Ayuk, like Trent Williams, he's not even the top 3 or 4 guy on the offense, but he's the one at the switch. He's the one who's making it all go. And he's the one that has Kyle Shanahan's offense optimized and playing at a level that we've never seen it play before.
So this is the meat of what I want to talk to you about. And I told you before our conversation, like, not even trying to suck up to you. I put your podcast on this week. And at the start of the show, you're talking about the Niners, and you did this awesome little exercise where you try to name the 5 best. Well, I don't even necessarily want to steal your idea. I love that you gave Fred Warner some love. I think he's completely, I think Fred Warner deserves to be as high as maybe 3. It's not so much about the list itself, top 5 49ers, but you're going through your list, and I'm like, Peter, don't do this to me. Please don't put Brock Purdy number 1 on this team. And you didn't. And that's what I think is so interesting is I don't think you're crazy for saying Brock Purdy deserves MVP consideration. I don't think you're crazy if you say Brock Purdy is maybe the most important player in the NFL because he is unlocking this 49ers offense in a way that we know a lot of quarterbacks have been unable to do. So we can't minimize that. But at the same time, he is on one of the most loaded rosters I can remember. And he is playing for Kyle Shanahan. And I think all of that matters. And I'm just fascinated by the idea of, like, is he a top even 10 quarterback in the NFL? I am not convinced. Is he the most valuable quarterback in the NFL? Maybe so.
It's all in the clouds, this conversation, because it's, well, if he wasn't on this team and he was put on the Cleveland Browns, would he be successful? Or if you put Mac Jones, which Dan Orlovsky said, in San Francisco, would they be having the same success? None of that. It's all hypotheticals. He is in San Francisco. So let's just judge what we see. The guy doesn't throw interceptions. He leads the league in completion percentage. His team is 5-0. He's never lost a regular season game. And these passes are beautiful. Like the 3 touchdown passes to Kittle are awesome. The deep one he had to Debo was incredible. The 3rd and 14 to Ayuk that was taken back was like the perfect touch pass. And he doesn't make brainless mistakes. So to me, he's as good as a quarterback in the NFC that as Jalen Hurts has been this year, or as Dak Prescott's been, or as Jared Goff has been, or Matthew Stafford, or anyone you name. Like, if I'm going through my Pro Bowl roster, I 100% have Brock Purdy as, if not the quarterback for the NFC, one of the 3. Do you not agree?
No, I completely do. And I think that is the crux of this conversation, is like when you say, oh, well, he's not one of the very, very best. I think especially in the age of highlights being on social media incessantly.
Yeah.
Can you dial up a play of Brock Purdy doing the things that Josh Allen and Justin Herbert do? Like, can Brock Purdy just completely destroy cover two? Like, just, you know, like if they're playing the coverage perfectly and you've got to make a 55-yard hole shot right in the 5-yard window that it needs to go. No, Brock Purdy can't do that. But does that mean that he's a lesser quarterback? I don't think so. And I think that's what gets lost, is the way that, first of all, the guy throws with incredible anticipation for somebody that's started like 12 games, and his willingness to push the ball. Maybe it's not 55-yard hole shots, but his willingness to throw the 22-yard route when the guys before him check down to the 8-yard route. It's
Dude,
clearly,
you're nailing it.
Yeah, no, it makes a difference. So yes, I love this conversation, and I hope 49er fans don't think I'm like dissing their quarterback, because I'm so impressed by what he's doing, and I think it's fascinating.